Not a great performance in general, was it?
No, I think you've seen a team that was fighting for their lives there and who were dominant on the first balls, dominant on the second balls. We started the game quite well, first 10 minutes, but then the goals knocked the stuffing out of us, and from there I thought they took a physical foothold of the game and they started getting the areas of the pitch that they wanted to. Listen, we know we've got Pratty in the number 9, he's not going to be a typical hold-up man. But we stopped being brave and getting the balls into good areas where we could get Pratty down the side, because the first 10 minutes it looked on.
Yeah. Was that the idea to get? We said once we got the ball in the channels for Pratty to run into, that's when we looked most live, because it kept going a lot more direct and he wasn't going to win those headers. It played into Hednesford's hands a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, we talk about bravery in there in terms of the physical side of it with first and second balls, but after the goal, it sort of knocked a little bit of stuffing out of us in terms of being brave and getting it in tight areas. And then when we were trying to play in the tight areas, I thought we were giving the ball away far too much. First 10 minutes, it looked like there was some good openings for us to get Pratty down the side, but we kind of went away from that, got drawn into the battle, and it was a battle we were always going to lose with the personnel we had on the pitch tonight.
Ultimately, it was a mistake that cost us, that decided the game. Kyle Brownhill probably should have cleared his lines or got a stronger header back, and he defended well at times, didn't he? But it's frustrating when you lose to a mistake like that, I suppose.
Yeah, we take pride in our defensive record because we don't give soft goals away, but we've given a soft goal away tonight again through sheer physicality. He just sort of overpowered Cal, gave him a little nudge and got the header that went short. He was a handful. I thought the 9 was a handful. He caused us problems all night, sort of just nudging defenders where we couldn't get clean headers on the ball, and we missed that at the top end of the pitch, but we had Pratty there. You've seen what happened with Pratty on Saturday. We had to play to them strengths, and we lost our way first half with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we said in commentary we knew what Hednesford are going to do, it's just get the ball forward quickly, try and play over the top, and times, like you say, we struggled with Wells, but then just gave the ball back so easily when we did win it.
Yeah, well, we said it's okay playing on a nice pitch against Whitby where they're dropping 10-15 yards off you and letting you play. Tonight, the spaces were far closer. They had personnel straight in our faces on a bobbly pitch. I actually thought Ross and Yanni did well at times, but could have been brave and get on the ball more. And then when the ball was going to other players in the tight areas, we seemed to give it away. And we just went ourselves. You're hoping at the end you're throwing things forward, but it would have been more luck than actually deserving it. I thought overall they deserved the 3 points.
On to Erskine now, another tough game, really sticky glue pot pitch, but you'll have Chib Chalaka back and hopefully Dean Smalley as well for that.
Yeah, we've missed their physicality. I think a big part tonight, I think you've seen set pieces. They were kind of taking John and Jordan out of the equation. And then we were struggling against the other 2 players who were up against our 3rd and 4th markers. So Dean, Chib, they had that. I think we're going to work into another team. We're going to be fighting for their lives. I think it's becoming apparent now. Last 10 games is going to be very difficult to get in the playoffs. Even more difficult to get stuck into a relegation battle. So it's about mentality now in terms of who wants to be next season, who wants to be. We're looking for a mentality shift in terms of more winners in there, more winners. It's becoming a case of every time we go a goal behind, we don't really get back into games, and that the ability's in there. It's a mentality which we've got to overcome.
Is that saying you're looking for characters, for example, when you go to places like here, Workington, where you did it at Mikulova, you can grind it out without really playing brilliant?
If you get promoted, you've got to grind out several games during the season. It's game after game after game. You come up against so many different teams, so many different conditions, and the players have got to adapt to that. We are where we are for a reason. At times, the players have adapted. I think they're giving us everything in every game, but in other times, like tonight, we haven't been brave enough, and it's difficult to blame players for the physical side of it because we know what we're putting out on the pitch. Losing certain personnel is a little bit of a blow to us in terms of that physical aspect, but I said we played into their hands a little bit on that side of it.
Is that the frustrating thing about this year? Because 9 points off the playoffs is probably we've thrown away 9 or 10 points through, like you say, not being brave enough at times away from home, mostly as well.
Yeah, but I think every team's probably going to say the same. If you look over anyone's season, they're probably going to say they're through 8-9 points away. Look at like Scarborough got beat off Mikulova. You'd imagine their fans are saying there's 3 points we lost. We are where we are for a reason. I think the table is a fair reflection of how we've done this season, and for us, you look at the top 5 teams, maybe 6 teams. They are very, very strong this season. It's a case for us figuring out the league, wanting to consolidate in the top 10, and then recognising where we need to go to get to that top 5. And I think Well, I think even now we're at a better stage where we are in terms of our recruitment and what we've got in there than we were at the beginning of the season. So we're learning, and hopefully that can stand us in good stead for next season. But there's still 10 games to go, and we've got to kick on with them as well.
I suppose it's not a bad season if you'd have said top 8 at the start, because obviously newly promoted into the league, not got the budget of Scar and South Shields, you could just go and maybe push for the playoffs. Top 8's not a bad season at all, is it?
It's not, but I hate talk of budgets. It's beginning the season, secretly we wanted to get in the top 5 because we back ourselves, we were backing the players. It's not a disappointing season, don't get me wrong, but we always want to achieve more. When you look back over 2 years ago, we finished in the top 10, kicked on the next season. Hopefully we can do the same, but I don't want to just talk about next season because there's 10 games to go, 10 important games to put us in a position where we can be where we want to be. Excellent. At the end of the season.